Hello. I think this is probably gonna be oh gross. I think this is probably gonna be a video where I have to adjust the light constantly because it's overcast. Great. 2 trucks have pulled up next to me. I thought this would be a private little spot for us, but it's fine. Today I have some grocery store sushi. I have a shrimp tempura roll, which is what I usually go get, or usually get whenever we go out to sushi restaurants. So I'm very excited. I'm not going to use soy sauce because the last time I did a grocery store sushi video and I used soy sauce, I spilled it all over my car. Raise your hand if you were here for that. So I'm a little nervous about that. And so I'm not going to use it, but we have eel sauce, so hopefully that's sufficient. Okay, I am going to tell a Tinder tale today, but let me take a bite first. Oh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That piece had a bit of wasabi on it because the wasabi's right here, and so it was touching it. That was horrible. Today, as I mentioned the last time I told a Tinder tale, we're going to discuss the Nates. I met 2 different boys named Nate on Tinder. There was Nate number 1 and Nate number 2. Nate number 1, I don't remember his last name. I don't even know if I ever knew his last name. That's how upsetting this is. Nate number 2 was Nate G. But Nate number 1, no idea. Couldn't tell you. He was so attractive. And unfortunately for me, that meant I let him treat me like absolute garbage, because I was like, someone who looks like me is hooking up with someone who looks like him? Like, I was willing to do whatever to just be in his presence, which was stupid. So let me tell you about we hung out a few different times, but let me tell you about the first time we hung out, because it was one of the precarious situations that I told you guys about in my last video. Oh. Mm-hmm. So we had matched and had been talking, and it was like a Friday night. Neither of us had plans. I think he lived nearby, but I was driving around. I think maybe I was headed home from my sister's. I don't know. But I was driving around. Something about me is that I love going for a drive. Love it. I've done a lot of my best problem solving going for a drive. I've done lots of thinking going for a drive, and I loved going for drives in Utah because I lived so close to multiple canyons, and so going on a canyon drive was definitely top tier drive environment. Loved going for a canyon drive, so I did that a lot. But this particular night, I think I was headed home. I had to have been headed home, and he's like, well, don't go home all the way, meet me at this gas station. We met at Maverick, which is like the Quick Trip of the West. Love a Maverick. Maverick is just a very it's a great gas station. Anyway, so he's like, let's meet at Maverick, and you can hop in my car and we'll go for a drive. Mm-hmm. It had to have been like 10 p.m. It was late. It was dark. But I agreed to meet this stranger at a gas station and get in his car and go for a canyon drive where I had no service, no way to escape this man. Stupid. Do not recommend. That tub belongs to Ashley. She let me borrow it when we were moving, and I forgot I haven't given it back to her, so I was supposed to give it to her this week and it still hasn't happened. We're gonna take a break from the sushi for some chips. I wanted something crunchy. So this is the Hy-Vee brand of sour cream and cheddar Ruffles. Basically, Ruffles sour cream and cheddar is my favorite kind of chip, in case you were curious. I think I've probably said that several times before. So good. Anyway, I didn't think anything of it. This was before Find My Friends. I definitely did not tell anyone. My sister, my mom, my friends. I didn't tell anyone where I was going, who I was with. Stupid, stupid, stupid. So, I get in Nate's car. Also, what a silly, like, first hangout. I'm not calling it a date because it was not a date. What a very, very silly first hangout. Just get in my car and come drive around with me. So we go on a canyon drive. He had a nice car too. I have no idea what it was, but I remember it feeling nice. And then he starts telling me that he had been a member of my church but had left the church, and he like spent our whole canyon drive trying to like lure me away and like telling me all these reasons why I should leave my church, and just like, I don't know, it was very weird. I felt very uncomfortable. And to be perfectly honest, I don't know how that night ended. I can't remember if we had our first kiss that night. I just remember being scared that I was in a canyon with a stranger who was bashing my church and telling me all the reasons why I should leave and telling me I was stupid for staying. I had no service. I like kept checking my phone. I had no bars. But again, he was hot, so I excused all of it. But then after that night, I went back for more because we hung out at his apartment several times and just made out, watched movies, and just make out. And he was such a good kisser, like such a good kisser. Another reason why I made excuses for him. He was hot and he was a good kisser and he was interested in me. Even if he was only interested in me for like just being a body that he could make out with and not just like me the person, you know, I didn't care. Again, self-esteem was low. I was in a deep dark place. I did not care. But the last time we hung out was memorable because I went over to his house and Also, he was like so the opposite of a gentleman. If you haven't already gathered that, like he wouldn't even meet me at the door. He would like leave his door unlocked for me, and I'd have to wander into his house and just find him. And he was often just like hanging out in his room. Anyway, so I get there, get to his room. I assume we're gonna do the normal thing, like watch a movie, make out, whatever. But this time, he told me, oh great, another truck on the other side of me. Luckily it's raining and both of our windows are covered in raindrops, so visibility is a little lower. It's a woman. Leave me alone. Let me eat my chips in peace. It's a woman and a man. And maybe some kids. I don't know. They're certainly loud. Yep. 2 kids. 1 kid. 2 kids. 2 girls. And they're just making fun of me for eating my car. I don't care. I don't care. Anyway. So. I walk in. And he says, "You're welcome to hang out, but I'm watching Breaking Bad, so no talking." And it was then that I knew that it had gone too far. This man wouldn't even let me speak. Couldn't even interrupt his show. That was the last time Nate number 1 and I ever hung out. Nate number 2, Nate G, was a very nice guy. And I mean this with all due respect, but he kind of looked like, he was attractive, but not really like my type. Although honestly, I don't really have a physical type. If you lined up all the guys I've ever dated, been interested in, talked to, hooked up with, they look vastly different. I've dated all sorts of heights and body types and hair colors and races. It's all over the board. Anyway. So Nate, number 2, while he was an attractive guy, he kind of looked like someone who could have been on Jersey Shore. He kind of looked a little Guido-y. Our first date was dinner, and I think I met him there. And okay, I will forever be thankful to Nate number 2 because he introduced me to what is now my favorite restaurant in Utah. Love this place. It's called the Dodo, and the Dodo is going to be a common theme in some of my other Tinder tales. You'll see. I went to the Dodo lots of times with lots of different people. Love the Dodo. It's right by Sugar House Park. If you ever find yourself in Utah, specifically in Salt Lake, specifically in the Sugar House area, you must go to the Dodo. Again, it's right across the street from Sugar House Park, which is this beautiful park, and it's amazing. They serve brunch and lunch and dinner. The food is so good. Anyway. Nate number 2 put me on to the Dodo, and it was delicious. It was so good. I went out with him a couple times. He was very nice. A couple of things that bugged me were that he still lived with his parents and like had no plans to move out anytime soon. He like lived in their basement and just whatever. He also started calling me babe too soon. I don't mind babe, but it was too soon. Like, you can't call me babe after one date. And just like dropping it, like calling me that instead of my name, or just like, it was too much babe too soon. And the other thing was, he started making too many plans for us. Like, he had planned out our whole summer together, and that was just like, it kind of scared me off. And so those three things added up, and I just I was no longer very interested. But he was very nice, and he did treat me with respect. He also introduced me to this artist who I like. What's his name? I don't know. So I got some good things from my brief fling with Nate number 2. Yeah, we liked him, but too much. Anyway, that was that. These chips are so good. Next time I will tell you about coal. On that note, I'm gonna go. I hope you have a lovely weekend. I hope you get to do and see and eat things that you love. I'm going to Wicked tomorrow night, which I'm excited about. So that'll be fun. But now I need to go home and just get cozy for this rainy day. Have a good weekend.